know where I am? I'm in the airport and I'm headed to Vegas. Do you know why I'm headed to Vegas? Because Family Realty Group is going to eXp.
Yeah.
Taking calls.
Yeah, she shot one open, but I saw it so far.
Could you please get out of my frame? So, I'm in Vegas. And as I said earlier at the airport, I am here because Family Realty Group is joining eXp. Wanted to make a quick video and just kind of talk about what led me to that decision, kind of what that looked like, what that process looked like, and just kind of the mental roller coaster that I've been on for the last couple of months trying to figure out which direction I wanted to go. So that's what this video is going to be about. But first, before we start talking, need for you to subscribe right here and go and follow my other social media pages, Facebook at Chauncey the Realtor, and on Instagram estate_chick_real. So before we even kick off and get into the whole why I joined eXp thing, first of all, this is my first time ever coming to Vegas. I know I'm a simp, but I don't drink and I don't gamble, so it's just never really been my thing. But because my husband is so extra, we're in the Aria in a Sky Suite, and can we just take a moment to appreciate the Aria and the Sky Suite life? This has been a months-long process. This is not something that I talked to one person and just decided to change the entire way that I've been doing business. This has really been something I put a lot of time and effort and thought into, a lot of research, and this is kind of the decision that I came to. So just want to talk about how I came to that. Also like the process and the recruiting process and how that looked, and how I know a lot of people get kind of annoyed with eXp agents coming at them, and how my whole situation was a lot different than that, and it just felt right. So let's kind of dive into it. So reason number one that I decided to make the switch and come on over to eXp, which at this point I have not actually hit the button yet. So eXp has, I think, quarterly mastermind sessions, and this one in particular is in Vegas. It's a leadership mastermind, and I was invited to it by a couple of different people. That, you know, let me know that these masterminds can be very, very informative and really help you out with your decision. I've already decided at this point. My team has already been notified. We are starting the process of getting everything switched over next week, but this is just kind of like the final step. So we're here in Vegas. I'm going to attend this conference, meet up with a lot of eXp people that I've been conversing with online, over the phone, and just my kind of final hurrah before we press the button and officially switch everything over. So back to my reasoning. So reason number one is I have found that with being in real estate, more so even than actually selling. Hold on just a second. Can you turn the football game down? Back to what I was saying. Okay, so one of the most important things and something I've really grown to enjoy even more so than producing is helping other agents. And through my videos, through my social media presence, the fact that y'all know I just give it to you raw and real, I get so many people reaching out to me from all across the United States, not even just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, not even just Texas. And I started to think a lot differently about the business, and I knew that I didn't want to be the business. I wanted to build a business, if that makes sense. And I felt like if I got into the rat race of simply being a high producing agent, that I would be the business. And so if I was ever down for whatever reason, I couldn't produce, then I wouldn't really make the money that I wanted to make. So through all of these people kind of coming at me, asking me questions, sending me messages literally on a daily basis saying, Chauncey, you know, I wish that there was some kind of way that I could be in your network or be in your brokerage, but I wasn't really able to help them, especially if they were out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and more importantly, if they were out of the state. eXp gave me the ability to expand my team and build a non-traditional team in a sense of what we're used to seeing in real estate, where you get an office, you get people to come in, you get them to cold call, you're paying for leads, you're carrying all of this overhead. And that was never something that I really wanted to do, and eXp allowed me to still touch just as many, or actually a lot more lives than I would have with a traditional team, without the risk and the overhead of doing so. So really my one big reason and my big why for making this change is just the reach of touching and helping as many agents as I can and becoming more of a national and possibly international and global type team than just a local one. So just thinking a lot bigger and outside of the picture. Okay, so my reason number 2 is gonna be time leverage. So I found myself kind of doing everything with running my own brokerage. So at one point I'd made it up to like 14 agents in 3 different cities. So Dallas, Fort Worth, in Austin, and in Texarkana. And guys, I was literally training, coming up with all of the training content. I was answering phone calls nearly 24/7, helping people fill out contracts when people had listing appointments or buyer consultations and they didn't really know what to do because they were new. I was going out with them on those. And then in addition to doing all of that, I'm still producing at a pretty high level. And then on top of me producing, then I'm having to do all of the back-end administrative work. So making sure that everyone is compliant with their advertising and with their licensing, and making sure that no one's license has lapsed. Making sure that everyone's CDAs, commission disbursement authorizations, are taken care of and sent over to title so that everyone's getting paid. If there are any issues with deals, I'm having to make those phone calls and really help out the agent. So it became a little bit too much, because the whole purpose of me starting the brokerage was, again, because I really love the mentorship aspect. Like, that is legit my favorite part of real estate, is just the coaching and the training and the mentorship. But I found myself not even really being able to focus on that because I was focused on so much other shit. When I've got to go sell, I've got to help you train, and I've got to go out with you, but at the same time I've got this pile of compliance, back-end office administrative work. And I don't think a lot of people understand what all goes into running an actual brokerage and all of the paperwork and compliance that goes into it. It's a lot of shit, and I totally underestimated it myself. So a big advantage of me going over to eXp is I can spend all of my time now doing the training and the mentoring, and I can also leverage eXp's resources. They have so many training classes every single week, and then the network that I'm tied to, the people that are sponsoring my license that I'm up under, I made sure to align with a really good network that is valuable. So anyone that comes up underneath me, I'm sharing not only my resources, but the resources of people that are help leaps and bounds even bigger and better than I am. And if I don't have a training class this week, maybe they have it that you guys could, you know, hop onto. So it's just a really cool way for me to leverage my time and make sure that I'm spending it doing what I really like, which is the mentoring aspect of it. So reason number 3, we're gonna go back to that same L word, leverage, but instead of time leverage, resource leverage. So with eXp, and it took me a while to kind of grasp this, because we'll talk a little bit later about me kind of talking to agents and really the courting and recruiting process and what that looked like, and how I was totally shut off to it when I first kind of started with this whole thing. But the resource leverage after I really got into it is crazy. So the way that it works is, once you join and you're in these networks or downlines of people, it behooves them to pass along all of their resources and all of their systems and everything that they're doing to you, because the more successful you are, and the more successful that you're growing the people up underneath you, then the more everyone is successful. And so leveraging resources from people and ideas and being able to mastermind with these people and share their ideas and their systems and their presentations and a lot of the skills that they have, and then sharing and bringing value to the table of things that I'm good at that they may not be good at, and just kind of pulling it all together and providing this crazy cesspool of real estate resources. Is that even a thing? It's kind of weird. Anyway, I just think that that's totally invaluable, because as of right now, the only thing that I can offer to my agents is what I know, what I do, which I think is pretty good. But is it the end all be all? Absolutely not. And if my goal is really to help other people get better, then I've got to be open to getting better myself. And the only way that I can do that is to mastermind and leverage out those resources and use resources and skills and training and coaching and education and knowledge from all of these other people that are in the places that I ultimately want to be. So reason number 4, and I think this is probably the biggest reason, if I'm being honest with myself, is money. I just saw with the opportunity that with eXp that I could continue to do what I do every day anyway, which is produce and coach and train and mentor other agents. But it would be silly of me to ignore the additional stream of revenue that I could get with working with eXp from just doing what I do on a daily basis anyway. On months where I'm not producing, on months where I'm, spending more of my time mentoring and training, if I'm training these agents well, then I've created another bucket of income for myself that is always going to come in. And so if, again, going back to kind of what I'm moving my business to is I want to build the business and not be the business, it made sense. And so ultimately just that opportunity of passive income, just an additional stream of income, the stock that comes with it, that within 3 years, God knows what it can be. Like, it's just an opportunity that would be silly to pass up, and I just couldn't poke any holes in it. I tried every which way and it just didn't make sense, to just ignore it. So yeah, money, I would say, is definitely, and the opportunity for that additional income is a huge factor for making this move as well. Okay, can we go eat now? So I'm here at the eXp leadership event in Vegas. Now, it's crazy. I did not know it was this many people. Awesome room of agents. Just getting started. Look at this room. Game time. Okay, so I'm super excited. Today is Thursday, so it's the last full day that we will be here in Vegas, and decided after kind of being involved with a lot of the activities going on with eXp, a lot of the breakout sessions that they had, hearing some of the speakers, hearing some of the success stories, super duper pumped. And I also came up with my 5th reason. I ultimately didn't really have one, but now I do. And it's one that I don't think a lot of people will actually admit to, but it's a real phenomenon. And I want to say that this is probably my 5th reason that should maybe be unspoken, but it's not. And so it's FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. Hey guys, it is heavy hitters in this business. I'm talking people that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales volume every single year, that have 7-figure GCI for their teams. I mean, it's some heavy hitters, and they're taking a 2nd and 3rd and 4th look at eXp, and they are changing the entire way that they do business based on this company. And if you're not taking a second look at the fact that these heavy hitters are doing that, and these are people that have built sustainable, good, solid, profitable businesses, then you're probably looking in the wrong direction. So I definitely would say that I took a second look based on some of the influencers and some of the movers and shakers and the people that are actually doing what they should be doing in this business. And when they started kind of migrating over to eXp, I definitely think that made me kind of raise my eyebrow, like, what am I doing with my life? So yeah, so that's my 5th reason. It's FOMO. It's been an awesome week here in Vegas. Lots of information over at the eXp conference. Met up and made lots of pretty meaningful connections. Everyone was very welcoming. It was super cool. Loved everything about it so far, and so we'll start the onboarding process next week, and I'll be shooting a couple more videos for you guys, like 30-day, 60-day, 90-day reviews, the onboarding process, the pros, the cons, everything that's wonderful about it, everything I don't like about it, and just giving you guys some unbiased reviews of switching my little brokerage over to eXp, and seeing if doing business and building a new modern team in this different way works out and shakes out well for me. So I'll be in touch, and love and light. Peace, guys.